Hi, and welcome to our channel, where we've been turning this parcel delivery van into a home on wheels. If you are interested in a DIY camper van conversion, please check out our other videos. Today I'm going to show you how to wash and detail an oversized vehicle. I have learned some techniques the past few years to keep this large vehicle's paint protected from the elements. I'm going to show you how to wash, clay bar, and wax this Sprinter van. I am taking the method used by professional detailers and modifying those techniques for the fact that we're detailing something the size of 3 or 4 sports cars. Let's get into it. First, we're going to rinse the vehicle from top to bottom. I use this electric pressure washer, and it's the perfect pressure for removing surface contaminants from the paint without fear of it damaging it. The pressure washer also has significantly decreased my wash time. The goal here is to rinse the fine dirt and dust particles off the paint. Think of the dirt and dust as small sand particles that would otherwise be captured in your wash mitt and scratch and swirl the paint. I'm using a 25-degree tip on the pressure washer. With the vehicle rinsed, now we'll soap it up and wash it. Think of the soap as a lubricant. It will aid the wash mitt in capturing the remaining dirt and contamination, and the lubricant will help prevent it from scratching the paint. This particular pressure washer comes with a foam cannon, and trust me, there's something highly satisfying about using it. I fill the bottle 1/3 full with soap, and then fill it to the top with hot water. This will help mobilize the soap. On a small car, you'd foam the entire thing and wash it down. I found that does not work on a large vehicle. The soap evaporates before you can finish. I do one side at a time. I started on the roof, which I did not capture on video. Remember, work from top to bottom. Using a clean, soft microfiber mitt, lightly wipe down the side, then wash away the soap. Now move to the next side, which in this case is the front, and do the same. Then the other side and the rear until the van is washed. You'll note that I picked an overcast day to do this. You want to avoid doing this in direct sun. With the vehicle now washed, you may now dry it with a clean microfiber towel. This is the most important step, the clay bar process. Remove the clay bar from the package and flatten it into a few inch diameter disc. Spray the detailing spray included in the clay bar kit on the paint to act as a lubricant. Now lightly run the clay bar over the surface to remove the contaminants embedded in the paint. If the clay does not glide smoothly, you need more detailing spray. The paint should feel noticeably smooth after this step. Now remove the detailing spray with water and a microfiber towel. The paint is now completely free of defects. Tree sap, bug guts, industrial fallout, brake dust, water spots, it's all gone. It's finally time to apply the paint sealant. Add paint sealant to a slightly wetted wax applicator pad. You may use straight swiping motions or circular motions. Had we not done the clay bar, we'd be introducing swirl marks in the paint at this point, but in this case, our paint is now contaminant free. We generally continue to apply the sealant for a period of about 10 to 15 minutes. Then once the sealant has turned into a semi-dry haze, remove it with a microfiber towel. We generally get about halfway down one side before we have to start removing the wax from where we started. We then resume where we left off. One thing to note, before you apply the paint sealant, if you take your vehicle off-road like we do, we recommend removing the scratches with a medium paint polishing compound first. It's been about 15 minutes and the sealant has dried to a haze, so it's time to remove it. I go over it with a separate microfiber towel than what you've been using, and with medium pressure, I polish the wax off to reveal a well-protected paint. I had not completed the high roof part nor the lower rocker panels before the sealant started drying, so I'll add paint sealant and remove it as you see here before continuing to the next side of the van. While waiting for the last half of that side's paint sealant to cure, I clay bar and wipe down the hood. This way I'm making progress instead of just sitting around waiting for sealant to dry. I return back to the side, remove the final bit of paint sealant, which means this side's now finished. I move back to the hood, adding the paint sealant as we did before. I'm guessing it's pretty clear by now that you complete the clay bar, wipe down, then paint sealant on each side until moving to the next. I feel like this breaks up the repetitive motion, as dividing up the clay bar process from the waxing process helps reduce fatigue, because this is a lot of work. Now is a good time to point out that you can apply and/or remove the paint sealant via random orbital or two-stage polisher and foam pads if you wish. Sometimes we use this method, other times we do it by hand as you see here. If you click on over to ourcaravan.com, which I'll link above, I have a write-up that describes these processes as well as provides links to all the products I use in this video. I also provide detail on my random orbital buffer, the hook and loop backing plates, and all the polishing and waxing pads that are most recommended by detailers. In a final step, I go around the vehicle and put a UV protectant on all the rubber and plastic pieces, as there are a lot on modern vehicles. This helps prevent the rubber from cracking and the plastic looking more black than gray. That said, I haven't found any great products for keeping the black plastic really black, so if you have some suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Now, wax often only lasts 6 weeks to a couple of months, while paint sealant is said to last close to half a year. Ideally, you do this twice a year, but I don't have time for that. I do what I can and do this once a year before summer hits to provide paint protection for when it's needed most. I also use a spray wax occasionally after watching, which should help the paint sealant last as long as possible. So if you guys are wondering whether or not it's worth the time and effort to do this once a year, I have to point out this truck is over 20 years old. This is my daily driver and my off-roader, and it is in fantastic shape. I have used all the same techniques with this truck, just once a year, putting paint sealant on it. I keep my vehicles a long time, so this once a year treatment is worth it to me. All told, this van takes me about 6.5 hours to complete. Okay, that wraps up our detailing a large vehicle video. I hope you found it helpful, and hop on over to our website to see some of our other content. Take care, guys, and thanks for watching.